What the heck's the T-Riffic show? It appears to be a thing where the style keeps changing. First you laugh, then you feel, then you sing, then you think.
Wait, all that in one show?
Yes,
That's insane.
exactly.
You're doing a skit, got jokes to spit, so you wing it. That's absurd. You throw a pun, a slapstick run, and rhyme each silly word. Who would watch a guy in socks trip over props for fun? Apparently, everyone, because it's a comedy where laughter writes the melody with goofy gags and pratfall tags and punchlines flying faster than the flags. Silly faces, weird embraces, nothing's quite as freeing as a comedy. But what if the jokes get tired and the crowd's desire turns low? You grab a pen, you sigh again, and turn the lights down slow. Now hearts are breaking softly, the spotlight fades to blue. It's a balladry where words are painted tenderly with whispered chords and soft rewards and feelings floating gently through the chords. One tear, one true, one soul set free. That's the poetry of balladry. But wait, what's that sound? A beat, a groove, a key change born to move. We got rhythm in our veins, and the crowd begins to sway again. It's a musical, a jam so bright it's beautiful, with riffs that pop and hearts that bop, and everyone claps till the beat won't stop. Snap your fingers, feel that vibe. We're alive inside this musical. And when the music fades away and laughter's had its time, we settle down to stories told in meter, prose, or rhyme. For every giggle, every tear has led to something true. It's a chronicle of dreams that grow ironical, with twists and turns and lessons learned and tales that make your spirit burn. One heart, one mic, one soul to share. It's life retold in chronicle flair. A comedy, a balladry, a musical, a chronicle sincere. From laughs to feels, from beats to tales, the T-Riffic show prevails. Get a dazzling, heartfelt truth and giggle, show it all.
Hello, my T-Riffic friends. Welcome back to the T-Riffic Show. Tonight's theme is one that I absolutely adore, the floating library. We will be exploring what it means to feel truly lost, and how imagination, connection, and a good friend can guide you back home. But first, we're kicking it off with a guest star that gets lost regularly, even when he's in a regular, firmly grounded, non-floating library.
Thank you. Please hold your applause while I figure out where I am. This says I'm in nonfiction.
I got lost in a library today. Now I know what you're thinking.
Atlas, how? There are signs.
Oh, I saw the signs. I just didn't agree with them. Because apparently, libraries don't organize books by vibes. No, they use something called the Dewey Decimal system. First of all, who is Dewey? And why does he have decimals?
I opened a book expecting a nice clean number, and instead I got 398.2? What is that? A Wi-Fi password?
So I asked the librarian, very calm, very respectful, "Hey, where are the books about feeling lost in life, but like in a cool, poetic way?" I said, "I am not a robot. You can't just assign me coordinates and expect me to thrive." I go to 158.1, and suddenly I'm surrounded by books like Understanding Yourself, Mastering Your Thoughts, and I'm standing there like, don't ambush me with personal growth. I'm fragile.
Naturally, I do what any rational adult would do. I go deeper. I end up in 500 science section. Now I'm reading about quantum physics.
And let me tell you, nothing makes you feel more lost than realizing even scientists are like, yeah, we don't fully know what's going on either.
One book literally said, particles exist in multiple states at once. And I said, finally, representation. I'm emotionally in 5 places at once. Confused, hungry, overwhelmed, optimistic, and somehow still in the wrong aisle. Then I found a section labeled navigation. I said, this is it. This is my moment. I opened the book.
It's about boats. Boats. Sir, I am not lost at sea. I am lost between self-help and why did I open my phone again?
At this point, I've been in the library so long, I start recognizing people. There's this one guy, same spot, same book, hasn't turned a page in 45 minutes. I don't think he's reading, I think he's buffering.
And then I see this kid, just standing there, holding a book, looking like they don't even know where to start. And I'm like, oh no.
That's me.
Oh no.
That's me. It's me 5 minutes ago. That's me emotionally every Tuesday.
So I do something crazy. I walk over and I say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but do you want to be confused together?
The map still makes no sense. Dewey is still out here numbering things like a villain. Turns out, you don't always need to find the right section. Sometimes you just need to find the right person in the wrong section. Also, quick update, I checked out a book by accident. I don't know when it's due, I don't know what it's about, and I'm pretty sure it checked me out first.
If I disappear, tell my family I was last seen in 398.2. Tell them I fought bravely, and I still don't know what that number means. I meant to do that. It's called physical comedy. Look it up. Probably in 792.7. Or don't. You'll get lost.
Give it up once more for Atlas McQuirk, everybody. If anyone can start a disaster just by simply checking out a good book, it's definitely him. But now we dive into something even deeper.
The shelves drift slowly, soft as breath, carrying stories that outlive death, holding the weight of hearts once known, in whispered words and quiet tone. Each book a lantern, glowing bright, each page a compass in the night, each word a gentle voice to say, no soul must wander all the way. Inside the floating library's air, the pull of earth grows light as prayer. Thoughts rise like bubbles, unsure, unclear, then burst to truths that draw you near. Here, you will find the tales you need, not always those you thought to read. The one of courage, small but strong, when you have felt you don't belong. The one of friendship, hands that stay when fear and doubt have led astray. The one of home, a distant flame you'd nearly lost, forgot its name. And sometimes, when your hands will shake upon a page too much to take, another hand will find your own, warm and steady, flesh and bone, reminding you through silent art you're not alone within your heart. For drifting shelves that softly roam are guided not by wind or foam, nor anchored deep in sea or stone, but pulled by longing not your own, by quiet hopes, by seeking eyes, by whispered dreams that never die. And you, dear reader, brave though torn with fragile hope and questions worn, you are the reason, shining true, these shelves keep sailing, just for you.
Your words float like lanterns themselves. Tonight's musical spotlight is an orchestral duet about having the courage to support someone through their problems and letting yourself be supported by them as well in return. Please welcome our vocal duo of the evening.
What if I was lost and alone, stuck in a world that felt so unknown? What if I had no place to go, no one to turn to, nowhere to grow?
What if there was no one by my side, no one to cheer me up when I cried? Would the world feel too big, too cold? Would my heart just wither and fold?
Oh, my friend, don't you fear, I'll always be there. I'm always near, you're not alone. We've got a bond, a friend so strong, it's like a song. But what if I felt lost at sea, caught in a storm with no one to see? What if my world was dark and gray, and I couldn't find my way?
Then I'd be right here beside you still, through every twist, through every hill. I'll never leave, that's a promise true. No matter what happens, I'll be with you.
What if I needed help to stand, like a castle built on shifting sand?
Would you still be there, strong and bright, to guide me through the darkest night?
My dear friend, you're never alone. I'll be your strength, your guiding stone. We've got a friendship that will last through any future and all the past.
What if I was lost? What if I was scared? What if life seemed just too much to bear?
There's no need to wonder, no need to roam. You're never lost when you've got a home. So no matter what the future brings, I'll know that I'll be okay. And you'll be there with your strength to share every step along the way.
Yes, together we'll rise through all the lows and all the highs. I'm not going anywhere, you see. There's no what if when you're with me.
What if I was lost? What if I was scared? What if life seemed just too much to bear? There's no need to wonder, no need to roam, 'cause you're never lost when you've got a home. Never lost when you've got a home.
Thank you very much, Soraya and Caden. That was a very telling journey, from fear to courage, from loneliness to warmth, from what ifs to I'm here. And now we enter the heart of tonight's adventure. A tale of being lost, yes, but also being found. About drifting worlds, drifting worries, drifting hearts, and about the magic that appears when someone walks into your life and says, I will walk through this chapter with you.
There once was a kid named Marin who loved stories, not because they were exciting or magical or full of swashbuckling adventures, though they were, but because stories stayed still. Stories didn't move. Stories didn't change the rules halfway through. Real life did. One afternoon, after a long day of feeling rather small in a rather loud world, Marin wandered through the park, shoulders slumped, thoughts tangled, heart a little too heavy. That's when the sky rippled, not like water, not like heat, like paper, gently turned. And where a set of picnic tables had been moments before, there now hovered a building, tall, graceful, floating 3 feet off the ground like it had forgotten how legs worked. A library, with warm lanterns swinging on ropes, and books drifting around it like slow, curious fish. Marin blinked. The library blinked back, yes, somehow, and opened its doors. Inside, shelves drifted gently as though underwater. Pages rustled without wind, and glowing words occasionally slipped out of books to stretch their letters before returning to their stories. Marin stepped forward, and suddenly the floor shifted, sliding them toward a shelf labelled, Books for when you feel like you're floating away. Marin swallowed. I'm not floating away, they whispered. But the library seemed unconvinced. A soft voice spoke. You look like someone who could use a chapter or two. Marin turned. A librarian stood beside them. Not old, not young, with eyes like deep ink and clothes that moved like pages turning. I don't know what I need, Marin admitted. Good, said the librarian. That means you're ready to find it. The first book Marin opened sent them tumbling into a desert of golden dunes, but the librarian held their hand, steadying them, guiding them back. The second unfolded into a storm, loud, wild, until the librarian whispered a line of poetry and the storm folded itself back into its chapter. The third book simply hummed. What is this one? Marin asked. A story about friendship, the librarian said. One where the characters stay beside each other, even when one is afraid. Marin's eyes blurred. I don't want to be a burden. Ah, the librarian replied gently. Then you need this one most of all. Together they read. Together they travelled. Together they drifted from story to story, until the floating library itself began to hum, rising a little higher. You're lifting it, the librarian explained. Your courage is lighter than your fear. Marin looked down. Their feet weren't even touching the ground. But what if I get lost again? They asked, voice trembling. The librarian squeezed their hand. Then the library will find you, and so will the people who love you. The library lowered again gently, softly, landing like a sigh on the park grass. Marin stepped outside, steadier now, braver, a book tucked under their arm like a promise. The library shimmered, shifted, and drifted skyward, glowing like a lantern disappearing into the dusk. Marin watched it rise. The air felt warmer, their heart felt fuller, and when they turned to leave, they noticed a friend standing at the park entrance waving, waiting, ready to walk home together. For the first time that day, Marin didn't feel lost at all.
Just remember, my T-Riffic friends, even when your world feels like it's drifting away from you, you are never navigating the world alone. Until next time, keep drifting, keep dreaming, keep discovering, and most importantly, I emphasize please, say it with me, stay terrific.